let's okay, we'll move on to a little bit more serious questions. Okay, I hope that you can express more of yourself. Okay, so Christina, let's get back to you. All right. So earlier today, you talk about how you kill your boredom, right? So
Yeah.
why do you think some people get obsessed with their hobby?
Yeah, that's a nice way to make the spider. And I think that because hobbies, interest, that's the thing that they want to do, they love to do. Because when we do it, uh, it's produce something like dopamine, as it's the name of the hormones that make us feel fulfilled, satisfied, happy. Yeah, so that's the reason why whenever we feel upset, we get down, we were looking for it. We were looking for our hobby or interest to make us happy again. So that's why it's like an addiction, and like a remedy when we have something bad in our life.
I'm not really good at technical terms, but you mentioned about one term. What is that?
Dopamine.
Dopamine. Okay.
Yeah.
I know about adrenaline, but I don't know the dopamine. Okay, I can search that one there.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Thank you. Okay, but are you obsessed of your hobby?
I'm happy now.
No, no, no. I mean you. Okay, you. Do you have a hobby, right? Your hobby is cooking. Are you obsessed with cooking?
Is the pain, but almost the time I just have a spare time, I will do my heartbeat. It's just occasionally when I'm upset, I will looking for it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that answer. Okay, Rose, let's move on to you. Hmm.
Okay,
So
ready?
I'm sorry, I'm giving a surprise you with some question earlier today, like playing instruments. So this time, do you think men and women tend to have different type of hobbies?
Well, for me, I think hobbies is not like depend on gender. It depend on the interest in the hobbies of each person. I think so because as we usually thought that um, in terms of football, only men like to play the football. But as we see nowadays, there are a lot of girls who also like football too. It's also similar to the like men like sewing like girls do. So I think uh, hobby is not depend on the gender.
All right. So you're saying that anyone can actually do one certain hobby, right?
Yep, yeah.
I agree with you because some ladies also play football. All right. And all right. Thank you very much, Rose. And Hannah. Okay. I hope you can answer this right. Well, there's no right and wrong answer, but what's your point of view? Um, I I'm also very interested with this question. Okay, but when does a child become an adult in your view?
In my opinion, people are adults when
Mm,
they behave adults and accept the responsibility of being an adult. Do you think so?
yeah, okay, but what can you give me one example of a responsibility of an adult?
Like, most people take life seriously when they're around age 20. They become independent and no longer rely on their parents, and they be in charge of most decisions that they make. And I think that is when they, yeah, that is when they became an adult. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so when they're responsible on their decisions, okay, or probably we can say they are accountable
Yeah.
on their decisions that they make. All right, thank you, Anita. Hmm. Um, in Vietnam, because you're from Vietnam, right? Okay,
Mhm.
in Vietnam. Do you think? I'm not from Vietnam, so probably I'm interested to listen to this. Do you think children in your country generally well brought up?
Um, in my opinion, I think that yeah, there's a time that children in the past is very difficult to life they haven't good enough condition. But now in the now children in my country generally are well brought up due to the fact that now society has become more and more modern, and there is not so tailoring the past, like the time of our grandparents. Children can go to school and have a great life without parent care. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't
My
I did understand much because there's a little bit of sound. Okay, but what you're saying is you're trying to compare how children are brought up in the past and today. Okay. All right. We got that. Okay. Thank you very much. And Susan,
Yes.
know what to ask, but probably Okay, here because you talk about your hometown. Do
Yeah.
you think is it better for children to grow up in the city or the country? Countryside.
Um, for me, I think that the children should grow up in a countryside because in the city there's so many things that you can easy to get addicted, like video games, phones, TV. The children spend all of the time watching the screen, which is not good at all. So in their eyes can be harmful. Yeah, if that situation lasts for months, the child can be hard to communicate with others. So I think they'd rather be in the nature and learn about the natural worlds around them. That should be their first start. And parents can spend more time with them to create good memories with them. Rather, in the city, most parents are always working, so they don't have time for the child. Yes.
Oh, wow. I think you are a good parent in the making. If you think that way. Okay, so I guess, well, I'm enjoying the answers, and probably let's close it with one good question in each one of you. Okay? All right. So, Christina, are you ready? Mhm. So, this is my final question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So, I can still want to connect my questions to your original question. So, do you think do people have more free time now than in the past?
Thanks for your questions. I guess if you ask me this question about before the COVID-19, I would say no, because I think nowadays people are busy than in the past because they have a lot of things to like a rivalry, you know. They have to like in the competition in their work are also in the study too. So, but because you asked me in this situation of the COVID-19 pandemic, I think people have more time because we have to stay at home of social distancing, of course. And when we have more time, at the first time, I feel it's so boring. But I think all of the thing is happening online have two sides, negative and positive too. So if we look in the positive side, we have more time to develop ourselves. So yes, and that's my answer.
Like cooking. All
Yes,
right.
new or happy. Try something new.
Right. Thank you for that one. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rose, I want to ask a question connected to my question to Christina. Do you think it
Okay.
can be a disadvantage to have too much free time?
Well, from my perspective, I think no. Free time is that meaningful time. Also, there are some people who may feel who, when they have too much free time, they will easily get bored or get lazy. But some people that found will take the advantage of this time to like try something more, something new, like reading a book or learn a language, another language or something like that to enhance the knowledge. So for me, this is the beneficial time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually envy people who has much a lot of free time, right? So it depends on how you use them. Okay, I agree with you too. Okay, and Hannah. All right, so I think Hannah's questions are a little bit more pressured. It's because it's more on about herself. Okay, but since you answered earlier about being an adult, I have one question for you. Okay, try to reflect on yourself. Do you consider yourself as an adult now? You mentioned about the responsibilities of an adult, but how about you? Do you consider yourself as an adult now? And if you say yes, in what ways? If you say no, in what ways?
I am definitely not an adult yet. Definitely. Because I still have a lot of things that I have to rely on my parents. And, when becoming an adult, you have the ability to control your feelings. Like, you are really good at controlling your feelings, which I'm not. Like, when I'm angry, I can be quite toxic, to be honest. And uh yeah, and when becoming an adult means you have to take good care of every aspect in your life. I think so, and I am not able to do that yet. So basically, I'm still a kid. I'm very noob in life.
Well, I am an adult now, so my piece of advice is that being an adult is not an overnight thing. Okay, but one thing probably that I can say is that we can always be an adult not every single day, but every season. We can learn something every season. Like, for example, if you want to take a job and, if once you value the money you get from the part-time job, okay, that will be a part of being an adult. You will value the hardship of your parents, and probably your personality will change as well because you
I
will
think,
understand.
yeah, I think I'm just at the stage of learning how to be mature. I think so. Yeah.
All right, that's the good news. You are learning, But if you're not learning at all, that's the problem. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to lecture you here. I'm trying to ask questions.
That's okay.
Okay. And Anita, okay, are you ready? Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. I'm also trying to give a follow-up question on your answer earlier. All right. So, do you think you are well brought up by your parents?
Yeah, I think so because I still have both dad and mom and still have the care of them. So like I can go to school, have fun with friends, go out for something else. And I have enough condition, not like the past. Yeah, that's my answer.
You are very. I'm not saying you're very lucky, but you're lucky to have it like that. It's not others. Okay, and finally, Susan. Okay,
Okay.
this is the last question for you. Okay, so
Mhm.
in your perspective, you used the word perspective earlier. Why do majority of people want to retire in the countryside?
Mhm. So the people who want to retire in the countryside, which means that they are old, right? So they have spent most of the times more than 60 years living in cities. So it's quite reasonable or not surprised that they choose something new. Yeah, something different. And the old people usually get headache because of the noise in the city. And the quality of food and the nutrition in the food in cities, well, it's may not enough for their physical health. When the body is quite weak, they need more nutrition. And one more thing that I think that when they retire, mean no jobs, that the money they cannot save much money. So living in the city, which is really high living cost, so they can move to the countryside to lower that cost. Yes, and they want to be back to the nature to enjoy the peaceful time after a long period of living in the city.
Oh, all right. Well, you were able to cover all the aspects. Okay,
Thank
right.
you.
I'm excited also to retire and go to a countryside. Okay.
Um,
Anyway, ladies, well, I think I am so happy that I was able to get those answers from you. Okay, and thank you so much for participating on this. We can say that this is an interview, but this is something probably to test your ability to reason out.